Maligayang pagdating sa Entrepreneurship Self-Learning video, kung saan tinutuklasan natin ang comprehensive guide to financial forecasting for business success. Idinisenyo ang video na ito upang mag-alok sa iyo ng mga nakakainganyo at kapaki-pakinabang na pagkakataon para sa parehong structured at self-driven na pag-aaral na nagbibigay daan sa iyong matuto sa sarili mong bilis. Magkakaroon ka ng kalayaang isali ang iyong sarili sa nilalamang pang-edukasyon habang aktibong nakikipag-ugnayan dito. Samahan kami sa Teacher Lumaban YouTube channel para sa nakakapanabik na pang-edukasyon na pakikipagsapalaran.
Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. Psalm 37 verse 5. Learning objectives. After going through this lesson, you are expected to identify the importance of forecasting in a business. Forecast the revenues of the business and the cost to be incurred, and compute the profits of a business. Let's have a pre-test from this topic. Directions. Read each item carefully. Select the letter of the best answer from the choices given. When initiating the process of forecasting business revenues, why is it advisable to start by scrutinizing and projecting expenses? A. Expenses are more predictable than revenue estimations. B. Expenses are less important than revenue. C. Revenue projections are always uncertain. D. Expenses have a direct impact on revenue. What are the key categories of fixed cost/overhead in expense forecasting? A. Variable costs, direct labor costs, packaging. B. Rent, utility bills, phone bills/communication costs. C. Direct sales, direct marketing, customer service. D. Costs of goods sold, materials and supplies, packaging. In forecasting revenues, what scenario involves a low price point, 2 marketing channels, no sales staff, and 1 new product or service annually for the first 3 years? A. Conservative case. B. Aggressive case. C. Base case. D. Neutral case. What is a crucial tool for assessing performance, managing risks, and ensuring financial health across various domains? A. Growth projections. B. Key ratios and reality checks. C. Expense forecasting. D. Sales volume calculation. What is a key step in building accurate growth projections? A. Assessing the feasibility of managing clients per employee. B. Identifying customer base and evaluating market conditions. C. Estimating market share and predicting yearly purchases. D. Deciding how far into the future to forecast and categorize costs. Let's have a recap from the previous topic. What does the customer segments component of the business model canvas involve? A. Determining the assets necessary to deliver the business's value proposition. B. Identifying diverse groups of people with whom the business interacts. C. Defining the type of connections the business maintains with its customers. D. Outlining ways the business delivers its product. Which part of the business model involves outlining how the business allocates funds to its operations and focuses on key costs and cost efficiency? A. Revenue generation. B. Key resources. C. Cost structure. D. Customer relationships. What does the revenue streams component of the business model canvas describe? A. Determining the assets necessary to deliver the business's value proposition. B. Describing the sources of cash flow for the business. C. Identifying diverse groups of people with whom the business interacts. D. Outlining ways the business delivers its product. How does a business model contribute to a company's success or failure? A. By determining the color scheme of the company logo. B. By guiding decisions and operational processes. C. By hiring a large workforce. D. By focusing solely on revenue generation. In the context of a business model, what does channels refer to? A. The various TV channels that advertise the business. B. The ways the business delivers its product and value proposition to customers. C. The communication channels within the company. D. The channels through which customers purchase products. Let us have a short review. Matching type, directions, match the items in column A with their respective answers in column B. Column A. Customer segments. Key activities. Key partners. Key resources. Revenue stream. Column B. A. It creates strategic relationships with other companies or with other people. B. A different group of people your business interacts with. C. It is an asset that is required to operate and deliver your business value proposition. D. Tasks that are essential in operating your business. E. Business sources of cash flow. Presentation of the lesson.
Blockbuster Video, established in 1985, emerged as a dominant force in the home movie and video game rental services industry, becoming an iconic brand within the video rental space. The company reached its pinnacle in 2004, boasting a global workforce of 84,300 and a staggering 9,094 stores. Unfortunately, Blockbuster faced challenges adapting to the digital era, ultimately leading to its declaration of bankruptcy in 2010. In the year 2000, Blockbuster encountered a pivotal moment when Netflix proposed a buyout for $50 million. Astonishingly, Blockbuster's CEO dismissed the offer, deeming Netflix a very small niche business that was then incurring losses. This decision would later prove to be a critical misstep. As of July 2017, Netflix had surged ahead with 103.95 million subscribers globally and generated an impressive revenue of $8.8 billion. Reflecting on this, it's evident that the Blockbuster CEO's reluctance to embrace the digital shift and perceive the potential of online streaming led to a significant missed opportunity. Underestimating the future impact of changing consumer behavior and the growing trend toward digital entertainment ultimately played a pivotal role in Blockbuster's decline. Starting a business necessitates grappling with financial forecasting, a challenging aspect of business planning and fundraising for startups. Although these projections are subject to change as a business evolves, they remain essential for strategic planning. Financial forecasting involves predicting future events based on a comprehensive study and analysis of relevant data. While time-consuming, accurate financial forecasts are crucial for developing operational and staffing plans that are instrumental in achieving business success. These forecasts provide a roadmap for navigating potential challenges and seizing opportunities in a dynamic market. Revenue stands as the total income generated by a specific source, whether it be a property expected to yield substantial annual income or the gross return from an investment. In governmental terms, revenue represents the income, typically from taxes, collected by a political unit for public use. Growth, on the other hand, signifies a stage in the process of expansion and development. It is the outcome of progressive growth, particularly in capital value or income. Certain investors prioritize growth over immediate income, recognizing its potential for long-term value creation. In conclusion, the evolution and eventual demise of Blockbuster underscores the importance of adaptability and foresight in the business world. The Netflix offer serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the critical role of visionary decision-making and the need for businesses to stay ahead of industry trends to remain relevant and successful.
What critical misstep did Blockbuster make in 2000 regarding Netflix, and how did this decision impact the future of both companies? Why is financial forecasting crucial for startups, and how does it contribute to strategic planning in the business world? Define revenue and growth in the context of business, and explain the significance of prioritizing growth over immediate income for certain investors. Let's go to the lesson.
Forecasting expenses. When embarking on the task of forecasting business revenues, it is prudent to initiate the process by scrutinizing and projecting expenses rather than jumping straight into revenue projections. Kapag sinisimulan ng gawain ng pagtataya ng mga kita ng negosyo, masinop na simulan ang proseso sa pamamagitan ng pagsusuri at pag-project ng mga gastos sa halip na dumiretso sa mga projection ng kita. Ang katwiran sa likod ng diskarteng ito ay nakasalalay sa relatibong kadalian ng mga gastos sa pagtataya kumpara sa mga kawalan ng katiyakan sa paligid ng mga pagtatansya ng kita. Below are detailed categories of expenses to consider. A. Fixed costs, overhead, rent, utility bills, phone bills, communication costs, accounting, bookkeeping, Legal, insurance, licensing fees. Postage. Technology. Advertising and marketing. Salaries. B. Variable costs. Costs of goods sold. Materials and supplies. Packaging. C. Direct labor costs. Customer service. Direct sales. Direct marketing. Rules of thumb for expense forecasting. Double estimates for advertising and marketing costs due to potential escalation. Dobleng pagtatansya para sa mga gastos sa advertising at marketing dahil sa potensyal na pagtaas. Triple estimates for legal, insurance, and licensing fees, acknowledging their unpredictability. Mga triple na pagtatansya para sa mga bayarin sa legal, insurance, at paglilisensya na kinikilala ang kanilang hindi mahuhulaan. Track direct sales and customer service time as direct labor expenses, even during startup, for future forecasting. Subaybayan ang mga direktang benta at oras ng serbisyo sa customer bilang direktang gasto sa paggawa, kahit na sa panahon ng pagsisimula, para sa pagtataya sa hinaharap. Forecasting revenues, it is a strategic process that influences various aspects of business operations, financial management, and decision-making. Ito ay isang estratehikong proseso na nakakaimpluwensya sa iba't ibang aspeto ng pagpapatakbo ng negosyo, pamamahala sa pananalapi, at paggawa ng desisyon. Nagbibigay ito ng roadmap para sa mga organisasyon upang mag-navigate sa dinamikong kapaligiran ng negosyo, magplano para sa hinaharap, at makamit ang kanilang mga layunin sa pananalapi. Different scenarios of forecasting revenues. Ang iba't ibang mga sitwasyon, tulad ng konserbatibo at agresibong pagpapakita, ay nakakatulong na magbigay ng komprehensibong pagtingin sa mga potensyal na resulta. Halimbawa, conservative case, low price point, 2 marketing channels, no sales staff, 1 new product or service annually for the first 3 years. Mababang presyo, 2 marketing channel, walang sales staff, 1 bagong produkto o serbisyo taon-taon para sa unang 3 taon. Aggressive case, low price point for the base product, higher price for a premium product, multiple marketing channels managed by a team, commission-based salespeople, and multiple product service introductions. Mababang presyo para sa batayang produkto, mas mataas na presyo para sa isang premium na produkto, maraming channel sa marketing na pinamamahalaan ng isang team, mga salespeople na nakabatay sa komisyon, at maraming pagpapakilala ng produkto, serbisyo. Key ratios and reality checks, these are essential tools for assessing performance, managing risks, making informed decisions, and ensuring financial health across various domains. Ito ay mahalagang kasangkapan para sa pagtatasa ng pagganap, pamamahala sa mga panganib, paggawa ng matalinong mga desisyon, at pagtiyak ng kalusugan sa pananalapi sa iba't ibang mga domain. Nagbibigay ang mga ito ng mahalagang insight na nakakatulong sa estratehikong pagpaplano at tumutulong sa mga stakeholder na mag-navigate sa komplikado at dynamic na kapaligiran. Pagkatapos bumalangkas ng mga agresibong pagtataya ng kita, mahalagang suriin ang mga pangunahing ratio upang matiyak ang mahusay na mga projection. Kabilang sa mga pangunahing ratio ang gross margin, total direct cost to total revenue ratio. Kabuuang direktang gasto sa kabuuang ratio ng kita. Operating profit margin, ratio of total operating costs to total revenue, indicating overall efficiency. Ratio ng kabuuang gasto sa pagpapatakbo sa kabuuang kita na nagpapahiwatig ng pangkalahatang kahusayan. Total headcount per client, a ratio for scalability considerations. Isang ratio para sa mga pagsasaalang-alang sa scalability. Mga karagdagang tip. Expect a positive movement in operating profit margin as revenues grow. Asahan ng isang positibong paggalaw sa operating profit margin habang lumalaki ang mga kita. Assess the feasibility of managing the projected number of clients per employee. Tayahin ang pagiging posible ng pamamahala sa inaasahang bilang ng mga kliyente bawat empleyado. Building growth projections, it is essential for creating a roadmap for the future, attracting investors, optimizing operations, managing risks, and positioning the organization for long-term success. Ito ay mahalaga para sa paglikha ng isang roadmap para sa hinaharap, pag-akit ng mga mamumuhunan, pag-optimize ng mga operasyon, pamamahala ng mga panganib, at pagpoposisyon sa organisasyon para sa pangmatagalang tagumpay. Nagbibigay ito ng structured na diskarte sa paglago at tumutulong sa mga negosyo na i-navigate ang mga komplikado ng pagpapalawak. Ang pagbuo ng isang tumpak na hanay ng mga projection ng paglago ay kinabibilangan ng timeline decision, determine how far into the future you want to forecast. Tukuyin kung gaano kalayo sa hinaharap ang gusto mong hulaan. Expense forecasting, categorize fixed and variable costs for a detailed financial outlook. Ikategorya ang mga fixed at variable na gastos para sa isang detalyadong pananaw sa pananalapi. Sales forecasting, it is a critical tool for strategic decision-making, efficient resource management, and overall business success. Isa itong kritikal na tool para sa madiskarteng paggawa ng desisyon, mahusay na pamamahala ng mapagkukunan, at pangkalahatang tagumpay ng negosyo. Nagbibigay ito ng roadmap para sa mga negosyo upang mag-navigate sa pabago-bago at mapagkumpetensyang tanawin, na nagbibigay daan sa kanila na gumawa ng matalinong mga desisyon at manatiling maliksi sa merkado. Steps to measure sales volume. Identify customer base, define the customers to include in the forecast. Tukuyin ang mga customer na isasama sa hula. Service area, consider expansion plans and include relevant geographical areas. Isaalang-alang ang mga plano sa pagpapalawak at isama ang mga nauugnay na geographical na lugar. Market conditions, evaluate the market's current state and anticipate trends. Suriin ang kasalukuyang estado ng merkado at asahan ng mga uso. Business position, factor in your business's position within the industry. Salik sa posisyon ng iyong negosyo sa loob ng industriya. Seasonal adjustments, account for any cyclical patterns in sales. Itala ang anumang paikat na pattern sa mga benta. Sources of information on forecasting. Analyze consumer spending habits through reports like the Consumer Expenditures Report. Suriin ang mga gawi sa paggastos ng consumer sa pamamagitan ng mga ulat tulad ng ulat ng consumer expenditures. Refer to industries at glance pages for industry-specific insights. Sumangguni sa mga pahina ng industries at glance para sa mga insight na partikular sa industriya. Examine the Producer Price Index for price stability in your industry. Suriin ang Producer Price Index para sa katatagan ng presyo sa iyong industriya. Sales Volume Calculation Formula, it is essential for effective business management, financial planning, and strategic decision-making. Ito ay mahalaga para sa epektibong pamamahala ng negosyo, pagpaplano sa pananalapi, at madiskarteng paggawa ng desisyon. Nagsisilbi itong pangunahing tagapagpahiwatig ng pagganap na nagpapahintulot sa mga negosyo na subaybayan, suriin, at i-optimize ang kanilang mga aktibidad sa pagbebenta. Other steps to measure sales volume. Determine how sales are calculated for your industry. Tukuyin kung paano kinakalkula ang mga benta para sa iyong industriya. Create a profile of your ideal customer. For regional businesses, use the data from the Census Bureau to determine how many of them live within a reasonable radius of your business. Gumawa ng profile ng iyong ideal na customer. Para sa mga pangrehiyong negosyo, gamitin ang data mula sa Census Bureau upang matukoy kung ilan sa kanila ang nakatira sa loob ng makatwirang radius ng iyong negosyo. Estimate your market share. Do this by determining the total number of available customers and then predicting how many of them will buy from you. Tansyahin ang iyong bahagi sa merkado. Gawin ito sa pamamagitan ng pagtukoy sa kabuuang bilang ng mga available na customer at pagkatapos ay hulaan kung ilan sa kanila ang bibili mula sa iyo. Determine how often your customers will buy from you. For example, if you own a beauty salon, you can count on your customers booking a service every 4 to 6 weeks. However, if you run a tree trimming service, once a year customer headcount would be a good estimate. Tukuyin kung gaano kadalas bibili ang iyong mga customer mula sa iyo. Halimbawa, kung nagmamay-ari ka ng beauty salon, maaasahan mo ang iyong mga customer na nagbubuk ng serbisyo tuwing 4 hanggang 6 na linggo. Gayunpaman, kung magpapatakbo ka ng serbisyo sa pagputol ng puno, 1 beses sa 1 taon ang bilang ng customer ay magiging isang magandang pagtatansya. Predict the average amount of each purchase for each of your product or service categories. Hulaan ang average na halaga ng bawat pagbili para sa bawat isa sa iyong mga kategorya ng produkto o serbisyo. To arrive at your projected sales volume, use this given formula. Number of customers, multiply by, average sales price, multiply by, number of yearly purchases, equals, yearly projected sales. To generate the revenue forecast, use this formula. Yearly projected sales, minus total projected expenses, equals, revenue forecast.
Why is it recommended to start the financial forecasting process by scrutinizing and projecting expenses before jumping into revenue projections? In the context of revenue forecasting, why is it beneficial to consider different scenarios, such as conservative and aggressive projections? What key ratios are essential tools for assessing performance after formulating aggressive revenue forecasts, and why are they important? Why is building growth projections essential for business success, and what are the fundamental steps involved in creating accurate growth projections?
To arrive at your projected sales volume, use this given formula. Number of customers, multiply by, average sales price, multiply by, number of yearly purchases, equals, yearly projected sales. To generate the revenue forecast, use this formula. Yearly projected sales, minus, total projected expenses, equals, revenue forecast.
Let's take a look at the example.
Example of a 5-year sales projection of a t-shirt company. The average t-shirt small size sales price is 150 and the quantity per month is 40. The first year quantity, units is 450 with 67,500 pesos. For the second year, there are 495 quantity units with 74,250 pesos. Halimbawa ng 5 taong sales projection ng isang t-shirt company. Ang maliit na laki ng presyo ng benta ng average na t-shirt ay 150 at ang dami bawat buwan ay 40. Ang dami ng unang taon, ang mga unit ay 450 na may 67,500 piso. Para sa ikalawang taon, mayroong 475 quantity units na may 74,250 piso. For the medium t-shirt size, the average sales price is 170 and the quantity per month is 66. The first year quantity, units is 600 with 102,000 pesos. On the second year, there is 660 quantity, units with 112,200 pesos. Para sa katamtamang laki ng t-shirt, ang average na presyo ng benta ay 170 at ang dami bawat buwan ay 66. Ang dami ng unang taon, ang mga unit ay 600 na may 102,000 piso. Sa ikalawang taon, mayroong 660 dami, mga unit na may 112,200 piso. The average sales price of a t-shirt size large is 190, and the quantity per month is 80. The first year quantity, units is 375 with 71,250 pesos. But to the second year, there are 413 quantity units with 78,470 pesos. Ang average na presyo ng benta ng t-shirt na laki ng malaki ay 170 at ang dami bawat buwan ay 80. Ang dami ng unang taon, ang mga unit ay 375 na may 71,250 piso. Ngunit hanggang sa ikalawang taon, mayroong 413 dami ng unit na may 78,470 piso. For the t-shirt size extra large, the average sales price is 210. The quantity per month is 95. The first year quantity units are 530 with 111,300 pesos. In the second year, there are 583 quantity units with 122,430 pesos. Para sa laki ng t-shirt na extra large, ang average na presyo ng benta ay 210. Ang dami bawat buwan ay 75. Ang first year quantity units ay 530 na may 111,300 piso. Sa ikalawang taon, mayroong 583 quantity units na may 122,430 piso. The total quantity per month of t-shirts is 281. In the first year, the total quantity of units is 1,955 with 325,050 peso total. In the second year, there is a total of 2,151 quantity units with a total of 387,350 pesos. Ang kabuoang dami bawat buwan ng mga t-shirt ay 281. Sa unang taon, ang kabuoang dami ng mga unit ay 1,955 na may kabuoang 325,050 piso. Sa ikalawang taon, mayroong kabuoang 2,151 quantity units na may kabuoang 387,350 piso. For the small t-shirt size, the average sales price is 150, and the quantity per month is 40. The third year quantity, units is 545 with 81,750 pesos. On the fourth year, there is 599 quantity, units with 89,850 pesos. And on the fifth year, there are 659 quantity units with 98,835 pesos. Para sa maliit na sukat ng t-shirt, ang average na presyo ng benta ay 150 at ang dami bawat buwan ay 40. Ang ikatlong taon na dami, ang mga unit ay 545 na may 81,750 piso. Sa ika-apat na taon, mayroong 599 na dami, mga unit na may 89,850 piso. At sa ikalimang taon, mayroong 659 na dami na unit na may 78,835 piso. For the medium t-shirt size, the average sales price is 170, and the quantity per month is 66. In the third year, the quantity units are 726 with 123,420 pesos. In the fourth year, there are 799 units with 135,762 pesos. And in the fifth year, there are 879 quantity units with 149,430 pesos. Para sa katamtamang laki ng t-shirt, ang average na presyo ng benta ay 170 at ang dami bawat buwan ay 66. Sa ikatlong taon, ang quantity units ay 726 na may 123,420 piso. Sa ika-apat na taon, mayroong 799 na unit na may 135,762 piso. At sa ikalimang taon, mayroong 879 na quantity units na may 149,430 piso. The average sales price of a t-shirt size large is 190, and the quantity per month is 80. The third year quantity, units is 454 with 86,317 pesos. But to the fourth year, there are 499 quantity units with 94,810 pesos. And in the fifth year, there are 549 quantity units with 104,310 pesos. Ang average na presyo ng benta ng t-shirt na laki ng malaki ay 170 at ang dami bawat buwan ay 80. Ang dami ng ikatlong taon, ang mga unit ay 454 na may 86,317 piso. Ngunit hanggang sa ika-apat na taon, mayroong 479 na dami ng unit na may 74,810 piso. At sa ikalimang taon, mayroong 549 na quantity units na may 104,310 piso. For the t-shirt size extra large, the average sales price is 210. The quantity per month is 95. The third year quantity units are 641 with 134,673 pesos. In the fourth year, there are 705 quantity units with 148,050 pesos. And on the fifth year, there are 776 quantity units with 162,960 pesos. Para sa laki ng t-shirt na extra large, ang average na presyo ng benta ay 210. Ang dami bawat buwan ay 75. Ang third year quantity units ay 641 na may 134,673 piso. Sa ika-apat na taon, mayroong 705 dami na unit na may 148,050 piso. At sa ikalimang taon, mayroong 776 na unit ng dami na may 162,760 piso. The total quantity per month of t-shirts is 281. In the third year, the total quantity units are 2,366 with 426,160 pesos total. In the fourth year, there is a total of 2,602 units with a total of 468,472 pesos. And on the fifth year, there are 2,863 quantity units with 515,535 pesos. Ang kabuoang dami bawat buwan ng mga t-shirt ay 281. Sa ikatlong taon, ang kabuoang dami ng unit ay 2,366 na may kabuoang 426,160 piso. Sa ika-apat na taon, may kabuoang 2,602 unit na may kabuoang 468,472 piso. At sa ikalimang taon, mayroong 2,863 dami na unit na may 515,535 piso. Example of revenue forecast for a t-shirt company. Projected expenses, screen printing press, cost per piece 2,500. 281 shirts 2,500. Year 1. 30,000. Wood screen 50 uses cost per piece 300. 281 shirts 1,800. Year 1. 21,600. Silk screen fabric ink 50 shirts at 3 pesos per piece, cost per piece 150. 281 shirts 1,405. Year 1. 16,860. Photo emulsion 10 to 15 screens at 10 pesos per piece, cost per piece 100. 281 shirts 2,810. Year 1. 33,720. Light bulb, cost per piece 75. 281 shirts 150. Year 1. 1,800. Shirt, cost per piece 25. 281 shirts 7,025. Year 1. ID 4,300. Acetate film, cost per piece 3 pesos. 281 shirts 1,405. Year 1. 16,860. Utility, cost per piece 350. 281 shirts 350. Year 1. 4,200. Labor cost, 281 shirts 5,000. Year 1. 60,000. Permits and licenses, 281 shirts 950. Year 1. 950. Total 281 shirts is 23,395. Year 1. 270,290. Total projected sales, Year 1 352,050 pesos. Total projected sales, Year 1 352,050 piso. Deducted by the total projected expenses, Year 1. 270,290. Ibabawas ng kabuoang inaasahang gastos, taon 1. 270,270. The result is called forecasted revenue for year 1 is 81,760. Ang resulta ay tinatawag na forecasted revenue para sa taong isang ay 81,760.
Let's do something fun or engaging. Essay. Provide a concise overview of why forecasting is crucial in the realm of business. Based on your business plan, forecast the revenues of your proposed business plan and the cost to be incurred 3 years from now based on the computation we discussed in our lesson. Projected expenses. Cost. Quantity. Year 1. Year 2. Year 3. As a student, understanding the lesson can have practical applications in various aspects of daily living. How can individuals apply the concept of forecasting expenses in their personal lives, and what categories of expenses might they consider when planning their budget? In personal financial planning, how might adopting both a conservative and aggressive mindset in income projections influence decision-making and future financial goals? Applying the idea of key ratios, what are some personal financial ratios an individual might track to ensure financial health and make informed decisions in their everyday life? How can the concept of building growth projections be applied to personal development, and what aspects of personal life could benefit from a structured approach to growth? Using the steps outlined for sales forecasting, how can individuals project their personal sales volume or achievements in areas like fitness, education, or personal projects over a defined period? Wrap up, answer the 3-2-1 and record your responses on the provided template. List down 3 things that you learned from the lesson. List 2 controversial ideas, things you disagree with or confuse, from the lesson. List 1 question you have in your mind regarding the lesson. Let's have a post-test. Directions: read each item carefully. Select the letter of the best answer from the choices given. Why is sales forecasting considered a critical tool for efficient resource management? A. To optimize operations and manage risks. B. To measure sales volume accurately. C. To calculate key ratios. D. To assess performance. What is the purpose of assessing market conditions in sales forecasting? A. To determine the average amount of each purchase. B. To evaluate the market's current state and anticipate trends. C. To calculate the gross margin. D. To measure the number of yearly purchases. What is the sales volume calculation formula used for? A. To predict the average amount of each purchase. B. To calculate the gross margin. C. To measure the number of yearly purchases. D. To monitor, evaluate, and optimize sales activities. Which formula is used to arrive at the yearly projected sales in the sales volume calculation? A. Number of customers, multiply by, average sales price, multiply by, number of yearly purchases. B. Yearly projected sales, minus, total projected expenses. C. Yearly projected sales, minus, number of yearly purchases. D. Average sales price, multiply by, number of yearly purchases. In expense forecasting, why is it recommended to double estimates for advertising and marketing costs? A. Due to potential escalation. B. Because advertising and marketing are less important. C. To simplify calculations. D. To reduce uncertainty. What is the purpose of tracking direct sales and customer service time as direct labor expenses? A. To reduce expenses. B. To acknowledge the unpredictability of legal fees. C. For future forecasting. D. To simplify calculations. What is the rationale behind adopting an ambitious mindset in forecasting revenues? A. To simplify calculations. B. To reduce uncertainty. C. Breakthrough ideas are more likely to surface. D. Because it's a standard practice. What is the purpose of the total headcount per client ratio in key ratios and reality checks? A. To assess the feasibility of managing clients per employee. B. To calculate the gross margin. C. To measure the number of yearly purchases. D. To monitor operating profit margin. In building growth projections, what is the first step in the timeline decision? A. Categorizing costs. B. Determining how far into the future to forecast. C. Assessing market conditions. D. Estimating market share. What is the purpose of the total headcount per client ratio in key ratios and reality checks? A. To assess the feasibility of managing clients per employee. B. To calculate the gross margin. C. To measure the number of yearly purchases. D. To monitor operating profit margin. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4 verse 13. Thank you. And God bless you always.
Sana ay nasiyahan kayo at may natutunan kayong bago sa aming paksa sa entrepreneurship self-learning video. Kung may natutunan ka sa video na ito, mangyaring bigyan ang video na ito ng thumbs up. Huwag kalimutang ibahagi ang video na ito sa iyong mga kaibigan. Kung mayroon kang mga komento, tanong, o mungkahi, maaari kang mag-iwan ng mensahe sa seksyon ng komento sa ibaba. Maraming salamat sa panunood ng aking mga video. Sana magkita ulit tayo sa susunod kong video, and God bless you always. Ito ay ang Teacher Lumaban YouTube channel.